What's up everybody, my name is Carl, and today I'm going to talk to you about what films I'm looking forward to in 2022. So in no particular order, the first film I'm looking forward to seeing this year is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. After catching a glimpse of the multiverse in No Way Home, I am all for this Doctor Strange sequel. Sam Raimi is directing this too, which gives me faith. This film is supposed to have an element of horror in it, and I know that Raimi can deliver in that department. I imagine the storyline is linked from the events of No Way Home, as well as any time strangers use the Time Stone, which in turn has fractured the multiverse. It is rumoured that this film will feature the most cameo performances in a current MCU project, and that can only mean we get more craziness, such as potentially having Tom Cruise playing an alternate Iron Man, the return of Tobey Maguire as Spidey, and possibly the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'm especially excited to see Elizabeth Olsen return as Wanda, especially since she killed her role in WandaVision from last year. Can't wait to see some Scarlet Witch fights, and supposedly one between her and Strange. The next film I'm looking forward to seeing in 2022 is The Batman. Stylistically, this film seems to be following that of 2019's Joker, and honestly, that's a good thing. This version of Batman seems to be more true to the comics. It seems darker, grittier, and more grounded, and that sounds like a perfect thing, because that is what DC films should be like. This version of Batman, played by everyone's favourite vampire, Robert Pattinson, is said to only be new to fighting crime with 2 years experience, so it seems like a more fresh take on the Batman in comparison to Affleck's older and more experienced version. The main antagonist looks to be the Riddler, played by Paul Dano, who is playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse with Batman and Commissioner Gordon in Gotham City. The storyline seems interesting, and I hope they could do Batman justice. The next one we're looking forward to seeing in 2022 is Scream 5, or Scream. At the time of recording this, Scream has already been released for a week now, so I guess I'm late to the party. Oh well, who cares? This version appears to be a direct sequel to Scream 4, which was directed by the late and great Wes Craven. We are back in the good old slashing town of Woodsboro, 25 years after the original film and murders, where a new killer takes on the Ghostface persona and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. I'll be honest, I made the mistake of watching the Scary Movie parody film before watching the Scream films, and that honestly did ruin the fear factor, as every time I saw Scream, all I thought about was this.
Yo. What's up?
But regardless, I did enjoy the original film. It's more like a dark comedy slasher in comparison to the Halloween Friday the 13th franchises. From reviews I've seen, the film seems to be doing pretty well or above average, which is certainly compelling me to watch it and also re-watch and binge the previous 4 films. Moving on to the next film I'm looking forward to seeing this year, which is Nope. Yeah, that is the name of the title. Don't be too alarmed. I'm okay. I think. This is an upcoming horror film scheduled for a July release, which is directed by Jordan Peele. Yeah, horror and Jordan Peele seem to go hand in hand perfectly, as well as leaving you disturbed. Both his previous releases of Get Out and Us were psychological marvels and remind you of the true horror out there, which is people, or in the case of Us, doppelgangers from another world. There is no plot information as of yet for this film, but it does star Daniel Kaluuya, who was the main protagonist of Get Out, and if it's anything like the former film, then it's bound to hopefully be disturbing, gripping, and entertaining. The next film I'm looking forward to seeing in 2022 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I absolutely loved Into the Spider-Verse so much that I forgot to review it when it came out. I think arguably it's the best Spider-Man film currently, with Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home close behind. From the trailer we got several weeks ago, it seems to follow on from the post-credits scene of Spider-Man 2099, who was able to travel throughout the multiverse. Our boy Miles has grown up too, man, they grow up so fast, where he seems to also travel through dimensions thanks to Spider-Gwen and seems to get into a sticky situation with Spidey 2099. No idea what the plot is at this point, but of course I expect to see more versions of Spider-Man, and because this is part 1, the plot is definitely going to be bigger than even the first film. Moving on to the next one I'm looking forward to this year, which is The Black Phone. This looks so interesting. Directed by Scott Derrickson, this horror film is about a kidnapped 13-year-old boy, Finney Shaw, who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. There's nothing in this basement apart from an old disconnected phone on the wall. However, when it starts to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims, who are determined to make sure what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. The masked killer, or the grabber, is played by Ethan Hawke, which is absolutely awesome, and from the trailer, he looks so creepy, so hopefully him playing the antagonist is in good hands, but I guess until then, we shall wait and see. The next one we're looking forward to seeing is Thor: Love and Thunder. Effectively, this is what I'm assuming is going to be a part of a new trio of Thor films directed by Taika Waititi. This will take place post-Endgame, where we follow Thor in space on some new adventures after he abandons his title of King of New Asgard. There's no plot or storyline info yet, but Natalie Portman is returning and she's most definitely confirmed to be playing Lady Thor, so it'll be interesting how they adapt the comic book storyline into this film. The antagonist is going to be Gore the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, so that's going to be epic hopefully, and it's cool that Bale has made it into the MCU. And the final film we're looking forward to seeing in 2022 is Avatar 2. I can't believe it's been over 10 years since the first film, and now we are getting the well-awaited sequel. James Cameron revolutionised cinema with the original film back in 2009 with stunning visual effects and CGI, and hopefully the sequel follows on with better advancements. The sequel's plot states that former Marine Jake Sully, who now lives on the alien world known as Pandora with his family, must fight a difficult war against the humans as an ancient threat arises. It seems that, as per usual, the humans are up to no good and are out to seek this world or get vengeance. I'm really excited to see this. Hopefully now, as the technology has improved over the past 10 plus years, we can expect better stunning visual effects and CGI. There are only 2 films that would have been something I was interested in seeing, but yeah, things have changed. The first of those films is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Ryan Coogler is back to direct the sequel of the epic 2018 Black Panther film, which, as we know, starred the late and always great Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa, aka Black Panther. The sequel is rumoured to have impacts from the events of Endgame, with the introduction of Namor and Atlantis, the Lost City. With the passing of the late Chadwick, the successor looks to be Letitia Wright's Shuri, who is said to be the next Black Panther, which would make sense as this is what happened in the comics. While originally I was excited for this film, lately I just don't know how to feel. Certainly with the recent controversies and allegations around Letitia, and not to mention the constant filming delays, just makes me doubt this film. I feel like maybe a soft recast could be done for Shuri, or better yet, have Winston Duke play Black Panther, which was also a supposed rumour. I'm excited about the introduction of Namor potentially, and learning more about this character, but for the rest of the film, well, I kind of am in doubt, but I hope this changes when we get trailers and closer to the release of the film. And the second and final film that I was looking forward to seeing but not sure about now is The Flash. Ezra Miller absolutely killed it as Flash in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. We really got to see his true potential in that film as he reversed back time to save the world. But in this film, it is alleged that they are basically going to erase everything to do with the Snyder film. Wait, what? Yet and yet more evidence of the DCEU being a mess and erasing a piece of film that will not be canon for the fans is such a ridiculous thing to do. I'm hopeful this isn't the case, as that's putting me off this film, as that would make Whedon's version canon, and nobody wants to see that. Apparently director Andy Muschietti has watched the Snyder Cut and could possibly be making changes to the Flash film, so let's wait and see. The film is set to explore different timelines, essentially exploring the Flashpoint comic storyline. Michael Keaton is confirmed to return to his classic and iconic role as Batman, which will be cool. I'm hoping this film harnesses the tone and depth that of the Snyder Cut of Justice League, but I guess time will tell. So comment down below what films you're looking forward to seeing in 2022, and give your reasons why. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!